Well, hello there folks, and how is it going? And welcome back to another video. To say that I am excited about this photo location is an understatement, because I am beyond excited. I have had this place marked now for ages, and finally we are here. And it is a sight to behold, let me tell you. Yeah, it's a bit of a hairy trail down there, so we've just begun. So let's get going, and I will show you now in just a second where we are. Well, this is Praia da Ursa, and it is quite possibly one of the most dramatic bits of landscape I have ever seen. It is, you know, you look at pictures of these kinds of places, you think, oh yeah, it's going to be good, it's going to be nice. But when you are standing here overlooking these cliffs and those gnarly sea stacks that are out there, it is beyond words. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now, in terms of light, I hope one way or another I am going down here to take photographs. There is the tiniest little sliver of a break in the clouds, and it would be miraculous if we got some light hitting the sides of these peaks. So let's keep our fingers crossed. But for now, I need to put you guys down because it is a bit of a slippery slope. It's a bit of a trek to get down here, but nothing that isn't done every day by hundreds of people. Well, not hundreds of people, but you know, lots of people. But nonetheless, we are going to take it easy and make sure we are sure-footed as a mountain goat. So let's get to it. Well, this walk is not for the faint of heart, I must say. It can be a bit slippy in places. Thankfully, I've Skechers on. But like, hold on, let me turn you around. The closer I get, the more mind blown I am. Look at it. It is incredible. And I can only imagine when I'm down there, these things will loom above and tower into the sky. It very much seems like there's loads of compositions down here. I do have an idea. I was looking, you know, you research and you look at other photos and stuff. So I'm just going in kind of with a bit of an idea about what I'm like. The tide is on its way in. There are people in swimming, so fair play to them. But nonetheless, we'll get down there first, and then we'll start worrying about our compositions and all that other fun stuff. But to be honest with you, you could come down here with your phone and come away with absolutely incredible pictures. So let's hope we can do better than that. But needless to say, you got to take it handy, take it steady, and slow and steady wins the race. Let me I'll show you the trail. Jesus, is that where I'm going? There's a rope and all. Well, I made it down the slopes, and I can't believe I live like 2.5 hours away from here. I think this has now become my most, there's so much going on here. I feel incredibly overwhelmed, but insanely inspired at the same time. Look at it. Fair play to the folks that are in swimming, and I really wish I had brought my togs. But even on this other side here, where there's lots of people taking photographs, there is loads of compositional opportunities. And I think I'm just gonna, I really just need to stay focused on what I came here for, which is essentially this big gnarly point. So that's the main objective today, is to try and get a decent picture of that gnarly looking point. It's breathtaking. I can't get over it. It's absolutely insane. Like I said, it's probably one of the most dramatic landscapes I've ever seen in my life. And my God, I am so glad that I made the journey down here. Oh my God, it is wonderful. So let's get the gear and let's get composition hunting. So let me just show you what we're looking at here at the minute. Let me darken it down a touch. So the idea is essentially just to, where's my finger? Is to try and create this sweeping line using the receding tide as a It's just a leading line, essentially, that brings us all the way around and to this colossal peak in the background. It is mighty, and it is getting absolutely smashed by the waves. It really is something sight to behold. It's a little flat, and that's just due to the fact that it's quite overcast. But looking out here to the horizon now, there is a slight break in the clouds, so we can keep our fingers and toes crossed, folks, that we get a bit of light. So let's keep exploring, because wow, there is loads going on.
Welcome, friends, to the ASMR photography studio. Oh man, what an absolutely marvelous adventure this day is. Here we find ourselves standing in awe of the mighty dragon's tooth. One of the marvelous things we can take advantage of while location scouting at a new area is to simply use your filters to slow down the shutter. This enables you to add an extra layer of dynamism to the scene, dragging out that sea and making it ethereal and create leading lines, and to help fill the frame. A wonderful exercise in timing and patience. This particular image and the one to follow I included to use as examples of just how light can impact your scene. I love the composition of this particular frame, but in the next one you'll see the light is just so much more dynamic. Here we have the beautiful leading line of the water as it's been drawn back out by the tide. It creates this wonderful ethereal line that leads us on into the absolutely magnificent sea stack in the background. But it just falls a little bit flat. And as we'll see from this image, the light is so impactful. And while it's pretty much the same composition, we lose that beautiful leading line that the water created in our foreground. Albeit the slowed shutter still adds a layer of drama to the scene, helping pull our eye through the frame and land on this wonderfully lit sea stack. But it's still not as strong as the first image. For me personally anyway. I would be curious to know what your thoughts are, so please let me know in the comments.
Oh my God, thank you landscape photography gods, because you have come through. Holy craziness. That light is just so gorgeous, I can't believe it. And it's just, I've been rattling off shot after shot after shot, trying to capture that perfect receding tide, and it is absolutely stunning. The light has added such depth and contrast to that colossal rock out there, and it is making for some absolutely fantastic photography. I love photographing the sea. I don't know if that has become very clear to you at this stage, but it is wonderful, and having a backdrop like this colossal beast is beyond exciting. I am thrilled. It is absolutely incredible. Like I said, and probably will say again, it may be the most striking landscape I have seen ever, but it is absolutely incredible. So let's get shooting. Might try and use some rocks in the foreground just to add a stronger anchor to the frame and try and create some more deliberate leading lines into this backdrop. So let's keep shooting and let's see what we can see.
Folks, the landscape photography gods were very kind to me on this day. This image to me is wonderful. Everything about it just came together so beautifully, catching that light in the sky, and as it illuminated the faces of the rocks of the mighty sea stack and the mountain beside, and then evenly balanced with the rock on the left and the pull of the water as it drags us out into the frame. Everything about this image for me just, I am goosebumpy even talking about it now. It was a real treat to be there and to photograph this scene. I'm so happy with how it all turned out.
Well, I just got totally smashed by a wave. I am soaked. Thankfully, I brought a change of trousers with me. But I was taking a random picture over there, and I just got totally smashed. Totally smashed. I'm soaked. I can't believe it. So hopefully the journey back up them while the winding stairs isn't so bad. So we're still waiting. We're still waiting mode. I'm going to pop up a few of the pictures that I was just taking. Over on the other side, there's loads going on. I didn't want to go over there because I would be too spoiled for choice. But while we waited, I thought nonetheless we'd go over and do a bit of location scouting. And it is absolutely stunning. Like, it's incredible. So, so hopefully the cloud, I think we got maybe, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in the next few minutes. So I'm going to change my filters and let's see if we can make some gold. Okay, so I'm just showing you the back of the camera here, and essentially what we're looking at is just, it's a 16 mil wide shot, trying to capture the water as it comes in and hopefully not get smashed in the end. But you can see the kind of composition that we're ultimately trying to achieve. There's a nice balance over here on the left that kind of counters all the heavy rock over there on the right. And then of course we've got the dragon's tooth slap bang in the middle of the frame, and then using the receding tide as a leading line to help pull us into the image. It is absolutely wonderful. And while there is not a huge amount of color in the sky, there is some absolutely wonderful structure in the sky. So there is texture and layers in the clouds that really help add such drama to this entire frame. Yeah, I am, like, even though I am head to toe soaking wet and I have to look forward to that walk up, I am thrilled with how all of this is coming together. So let's keep shooting. I'll probably stick around for another maybe 30 minutes or so until the sun actually sets. And then we will make our way back up the stairs like Gollum leading Sam and Frodo to Shelob's lair.
These are the moments that I wait for, and one of the beautiful things about being a landscape photographer is having the opportunity to stand or sit and wait for the light and the elements to all culminate into a final image that you can stand over and be super proud of and happy with. And this is one of those images. I couldn't believe my eyes as everything was just happening so quickly. Needless to say, I captured loads of frames as the water was rushing towards me and dragging me out, and ultimately settled on this particular one, filling the bottom of the frame with this, pulling us through the image as, oh man, the light in the sky and the light on the sea stacks and the mountains just worked so wonderfully. I am over the moon with how wonderful this image is, for me anyway, and I absolutely love it. And a real representation of the area. And this is the kind of image I had in my mind's eye when setting out on this adventure. And thank you, landscape photography gods, because you really came through on this day. And as the day faded, we caught this final last dance of color in the sky. It just caught. Oh, it was so fleeting. It was a rush and a bit of a panic, I must say. The composition on this particular image isn't mind-bogglingly strong, but still I am very happy with how it turned out. There's a nice balance between the pull of the slowed down shutter speed influencing how the water looks, balanced with the sturdy rock on the right, and then leading up into the top left of this beautiful color in the sky, almost creating a S shape in the frame. I couldn't believe it when this happened. I was so happy, and just even standing there in awe of this mighty sea stack was just so wonderful.
Well, folks, I am absolutely blown away with how all of that came together. I couldn't have hoped for any better conditions. It was incredible, incredible. It's so beautiful. Caught just the last bit of color in the sky as it came out, and it was glorious. So messed around with a few different compositions. I think my favorite one still being that super wide, nice structure in the sky, everything come together nicely. So we'll see how it turns out in the edited room. So for now, going to head up the steps. Hopefully my shoes are still there and I don't have to do it barefoot. My intention is to continue this video. I want to get up tomorrow morning for the sunrise because there's a beautiful viewpoint, just maybe a 5-minute walk from where we're sleeping tonight, and I want to see if anything happens. So I'm going to stop for now, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Okay. Cheers. Well, good morning, folks. It's very misty. I don't think this is going to work, but nonetheless, we are out giving it a shot. It's very socked in this morning. It's heavy mist, but I mean, I can kind of see stuff. So you never know. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, as they say. So I'm going to just head to the viewpoint and just set up and wait. We've got about maybe 30 minutes before the sun rises, and I'm just going to enjoy the view nonetheless. I mean, it's incredible here. It really is. Oh God, it's so high up. Just before we get there, there are 3 beaches here. This particular one that we were at, and then there's another one and another one that I don't remember the names of. But there's 3 beaches here that have massive potential. It's like I said yesterday, this particular section of coastline is absolutely insane. So for sure we will absolutely be coming back to explore those other sections as well. But for now, gonna amble down to this viewpoint. It's just here. Thankfully, it's not much of a walk from where the van is parked, and yeah, just gonna look and enjoy, and hopefully, you never know, we might catch a bit of colour. We thought all hope was lost yesterday, and sure, look what happened. So we'll see if the landscape photography gods are on my side. But for now, let's keep an eye on the track so I don't fall over, because it's a bit slippy, and let's get to where we're going. Okay, cool. So none of it's really working for me, unfortunately. At least with the wide angle lens. I've got the 16-35 on, so I'm actually going to swap and just kind of abandon the idea of trying to capture the vast kind of wide seascape that we're looking at. Everything is just losing its scale. It's epic to stand here, but when you're shooting at 16 mils, everything's just lost its kind of scale. So as I say, I think I'll swap to maybe my mid-range zoom and just try focus in on the little bits that are down there. It's still kind of dark enough for us to keep our exposures, you know, maybe 2-3 seconds. So just to try and add a nice bit of drama, a bit of motion. So I'm going to swap lenses, and I'm going to just kind of try and pick out details and pick out a bit more of a kind of intimate kind of seascape scene in this epic vastness that we find ourselves in. I mean, look at it though, it's absolutely incredible. So let's swap lenses and let's see what magic we can muster.
So as I mentioned, the 16-35 was just too wide for this scene. Being down at beach level really enables you to use that wide angle lens and still have massively impactful frames. But standing up so high and so far away, all sense of scale is really lost. Swapping lenses and zooming in really allowed me to just play around with simpler compositions, and this is one that really stood out for me. With a shutter speed of around 4 to 5 seconds, I was able to slow down the water and add a really lovely ethereal feel to the base of the sea stack, and then of course the mighty sea stack as it roars out of the water. Again, this particular image we are looking at now, just like the last image, this image is just very simple. It's a top-down view of some beautiful rocks as a slowed down shutter adds the ethereal motion into the water and makes this scene a dream-like landscape. But again, being up so high really loses that scale, and it's the scale that emphasizes the might of this area. Nonetheless, I am still very happy with how this picture turned out. A very abstract scene. The thing that would just be the cherry on top for me is just if there had have been a small bit of light just illuminating the water, we could have gotten that real Azorean feel to the green water, and that would have really set it off and really made it a bit more unique. But sure, look, we got up and we got out, and that's what was important.
Well, I actually really like some of those. It's always nice just to focus in on smaller detail. Well, albeit these are colossal sea stacks, but focus in on the smaller details nonetheless. But and there was a small bit of color separation in the sky, just very briefly. So I really hope I got that just as the sun was up. But It's kind of up now, and it's very, very overcast, so I don't think we're going to get any kind of direct light, which would be what we're ultimately after here. But I think I'm going to call it a day here. This has been quite possibly one of my favorite locations I have ever been to. I think I said that many times yesterday, but for good reason. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. There is so much to photograph here, and I really look forward to coming back to the area to explore those other beaches as well, because the kind of reference images and the research that I was doing down there for those ones are pretty outstanding as well. But as it stands, this particular beach has totally blown my marbles, and I am thrilled, so happy that I made the effort to get down there, and it's but it was just so gorgeous, and I really hope the pictures turn out well. But for now, I think we're going to pack up. Well, I'm have some coffee first, going to pack up, and just going to hit the road again. Still have a few days left of holidays, and where are we going? I think we're going back to Lisbon. I don't know yet, but I'm sure I will take you guys along. So, usual story, if you like what you like, then give it a like, if that makes sense. And if you fancy following along for more adventures, then absolutely do feel free to hit that subscribe button. And until the next one, guys and girls, I will see you there, and take it easy. Cheers.